Hello to all, my name is Ricardo Cabral and I'm going to demonstrate how to create a Microsoft 365 Developer Plan. So what is Microsoft 365 Developer Plan? It's a Microsoft tenant that you're going to access for free. You need to pay anything, and with them you can access the Power Platform service. So then we're going to add Power Apps Developer Plan. So this is the plan that you can create apps on Power Platform. Then we're going to add Power Automate trial and also Power Virtual Agents trial, so you can create apps, work with flows, and then if you want you can also work with and create bots using Power Virtual Agents. So this first we're going to create a Microsoft Development 365 plan. Then we are going to add the Power Apps Developer Plan. Then you're going to add the trials. Just you want to try almost everything with Power Platform. Of course, then there is more trials. For example, if you want to try Power BI Pro, you can also add the trial, but this tenant already have the license, so you can use Power BI included in Microsoft 365 Developer Plan. So let's start to creating a Microsoft account. So this Microsoft account is not a Microsoft 365 account or a Microsoft Enterprise or Microsoft Organization account. This is a regular Microsoft end user account, just like a Microsoft Xbox account or a Microsoft personal account. So to start, you can open your internet browser that you want to use. Can use Microsoft Edge, can use Firefox, can use Opera, can use Safari. Use it as you like. But before creating the account, I suggest that you open in private window or a private window. Why? Just when you're going to create an account, just avoid to the browser get your organization account or your personal account, because we are going to create a new personal account. So let's type account.microsoft.com, and this will show a sign-in window that you can sign in with your personal account. And if you type sign in, it's going to request your personal email, but we can see here that we can create a new account. So there's just like create account option, and you can use your existing email address. You can use email address, a personal email address, or also an organization, or you can also use a phone number instead, or get a new email address from outlook.com. In this I will choose to get a new email address, so I can use outlook.com domain or Outlook domain. And as you can see, this is for personal accounts, so this is not from an organization account. And for this demonstration, I'm going to create a new account, and I'm going to get Power Platform Workshop. So if this will be available, if this account doesn't exist, this will be accepted, and this not exist. So now I'm going to type a password. I'm not going to type the test, of course, and I recommend that you use special characters, points, just to avoid that your account to be hacked or getting the password. Don't use numbers like 1 2 3 4 or God or regular names, your pets, anything, because this is to avoid that you lose your account. So I already typed the password that I need, and just click next button, and it say that the password contains characters that are allowed. So this means that I'm using special characters that doesn't allow. If this message occurs, So you need to change these the characters for other special characters that can be used on the password. Now I retype the password, just going to click next, and the password was validated, and now I'm using. Now the first thing that is going to show me is to solve a puzzle. I can use audio or image. So if I click here, it's going to put, is getting that this image must match with this image. So I need to move the image. So now that image is accurate in the same thing. Let's submit. One is done. Now I need to put this character on this side. So let's not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, and this is the place. Now the first time, the third is to put it the character here. And now I do the third verification. This is just to prove that I'm not a bot, I'm not AI, I'm a user. I'm user being. Is going to ask me my birthday, my country region, and please don't fill information with fake information. For developer accounts, for trial account that want to use to be renewed. So I already typed and fill my personal information. I'm not going to show my birthday, of course, and it's telling me that my Microsoft account brings everything together. So the personal service that Microsoft offer to us or integrate with our account, that means all software as a service, platform as a service, using internet. For example, I can use my personal Microsoft account on Windows 10 or 11. I can use with my Xbox, I can use with OneDrive. So this brings all service together in one place. So to continue, and just click the continue button. Just need to wait a few minutes or seconds, and now I'm in my account on Microsoft, and I can see that I can get subscriptions. I can register my Windows device, phone device, can use, for example, Bing in my smartphone, and I have everything together in one place to manage the service, the security, the privacy, the device that are associated with this account. So this is the first thing that we need to do to work to manage this. Now the second thing is to create a developer plan, a Microsoft 365 developer plan using our account. So how can we use this? I'm just going to open a new tab here, and I'm going to type developer.microsoft.com. So this will get us to the developer.microsoft.com portal or website. That is going to do. Now this is in Spanish. I'm going to change the language to Portuguese. I'm going to change the language to English. And it's telling us that this is one place that we can try get information from Microsoft products to developers. So if I click products, I can see Dynamics 365, Microsoft 365, Azure, Edge, Graph, Identity Platform, Teams, Viva, Mixed Reality, Power Platform, Windows, and Windows for IoT. The language, this is not regional language or spoken language. This is programming language like .NET, Java, JavaScript, or Python. So this is a developer place, like developers can get information that going to use Microsoft technologies. Now in our case, we want to create a Microsoft 365 developer plan. So I'm going to click here. So I'm going to select products, Microsoft 365, and this will jump to the Microsoft 365 place. So we have everything here about Microsoft 365 planes. And on the top, we can see we have a tab here. That one of the tabs is developer program. So here we're going to join to the program. So if I click here, I have join now. So here I'm going to create a new tenant. Just click or select developer program and then click join now. In join now, we're going to get information what is Microsoft developer program. And like you can see here, so this is to get an instant sandbox pre-configured with sample data, include Teams developer portal, and start developing on the Microsoft 365 platform. So what are the technology or what are the services that are included in this plan? On the bottom, we are going to get a free developer plan, and one important, this is a renewal 90 days plan. So this is going to be renewal in 19 to 90 days. And how we can get renewal? We need to respect the rules of the developer plan. So this cannot be used to production. This cannot be used to organizations to production way. If Microsoft detects that you are using this in a production way, they are going to cancel your subscription, and that's it. And you cannot get a new development plan on the same account. And then this also include sample data and can create fake users using fake data to create your apps, to create your Power Apps, and starting using data from SharePoint. So this is good to us. And what are included on this plan? So this is include 25 user license. So you can have 25 users. You can create users that are going to simulate interaction. For example, these are sample data, like yes, 16 users with sample, and includes Office 365 apps, everything you need for Power Platform development. So this is the reason that you're going to create and need, because we're going to need a Microsoft 365 plan, and we're going to add an E5 instance. So this is E5 include enterprise mobility plus security MES. So this means that if you want to try MFA, Microsoft 365 security, and other products that involve security using Microsoft technologies, you can use the same tenant use. So this means I can create and using it. But how I can join for this? So to join, I can simply click join now. This option is to join using a Visual Studio subscription. We're not going to use this. So just click on join now. And on join now, we're going to ask for a Microsoft email account. If I'm going to simply disconnect, sign out this account. I want to sign out here, and I want to show other things. For example, if I want to join the program, and if I'm going to use, for example, a Microsoft account or an email account that are not associated to the Microsoft account, for example, fake Outlook at outlook.com. I don't know if this email exists or if it's associated. So like this is a fake email. So this is not this email address are not associated with any Microsoft account. So to use this, we need to use Microsoft account. If you're going to use an organization account, this will fail because this is going to ask for a personal email address or organization email, but with the Microsoft account. Just I'm signing again, and this is going to ask my region, the company, the English language. So I'm located in Portugal, so I'm going to select my region. So this is important because this is going to create the users, and the data is going to set in Europe. So if you are situated in Europe and want that your data is set in Europe, fill the country is equating. If you are in US, select US. If you are in Africa, select Africa. If you are in Middle East, select Middle East. Whatever that the country or region that you are living. So for the company, you can type your own name. For example, this is mandatory, associate, and this will create the domain name according with the company. I'm going to just create Power Platform Workshop. This is from the email that I'm using. For example, the language I'm going to choose English. Is going to ask if you accept the terms. So before you accept it, please read the terms. So this is a terms and condition. It was updated in February 15, 2023. So there are terms that you need to know: how we can use the software, how we can use the rules and rights to use this plan, just to continue using the develop plan. So I already know the terms. I'm going to accept. If you want to receive an email about Microsoft 365 information about developer program, you can click here, and this will receive a monthly email. Just click next, and now it's going to ask what is your primary focus as a developer. So you can choose any of these that you need, and this are going to ask personal projects. So this is one of my focus. Now we're going to ask what is the areas or when you're going to start. Now we're going to work with Power Platform, of course, and please fill with the areas or resource or tools you're going to develop on this develop plan. For example, if you want to work with the identity platform using Azure Active Directory, you can use this. If you want to create Microsoft 365 add-ins online, you can use this. If you want to work with Microsoft Graph, you can use this. In our case, we're just going to select Power Platform. Save. And then you're going to ask if you want an extend sandbox, or you're going to select the configuration sandbox. So with configuration sandbox, you're going to configure your own sandbox from scratch. This will take 2 days to provision, and you manually add sample data. Or you can use everything to build a Microsoft subscription, and this will be added 16 users automated, and with subscriptions, with sample data, and this is way to start. In my case, I'm going to select a configure sandbox. So for example, if I select instance, I can see that I'm going to have users, email events, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and I can also add more things. With configure sandbox, I need to add everything manual. So the sample data packs is empty. I need to add it manually after. So click next. Now it's going to type what is my username. So this will be the first user, be the administrated user in this case. And also we're going to select what is the domain that I want. For example, if I'm going to select this maybe is already not available. So this domain is taken. So the first thing that you need to select available program, an available domain. If you want to type, for example, according with email, and this already taken. So the account of Microsoft 365 is not taken, but this tenant it's already taken. And this is also taken. So because this is this tenant is used on Universe, on Microsoft 365 Universe. So this question is created by organization, created by development plan. So you will spend sometimes some minutes to select a correct or type a domain that is not occupied and valid. Then you can proceed with the setup. I already typed a valid domain that can be used to set up and create a Microsoft 365 sandbox. So I'm just going to click continue, and then this is going to ask me a phone number. So it's recommended that you use your phone number that you're going to receive SMS cert message to authentication and to validate yourself. So if you're receiving an error code just like this one, this means that you, in my case, I already using a developer program. So I cannot use to, or cannot sign out to develop program. What you can do in this case, well, you can use another phone number that are not being used or not be used before to create a develop program, and then you can continue with the setup. When you type a phone number that is not used in a developer program before, you receive an SMS message. So in my case, I'm going to edit the code. Continue the button setup, and this will starting to create the subscription. We have a notice here that this operation should take about a minute, but sometimes this can take longer than 1 minute. Just wait for this window. Don't refresh the browser. Don't close any progress. As you can see, this automatically pass to a new page that telling me that my subscription is available. I am using E5. This subscription going to expire 10 October in 2023, on October 10, 2023. I have 25 users. This is my administration account, and I can go to my subscription, just click here, and then set up new users. It's going to ask me for the password, of course, security in first. Just going to wait a few seconds to reload, and then I'm ready to use, and it's show me the welcome screen. Just going to click here, and I can create the users. So this is just to finish the first step to create a Microsoft 365 developer plan. Now I'm going to start the second part. Now the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to open a new tab and going to the Power Platform Admin Center. So I'm just going to type admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. Oops. admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. Verify if you type it correctly. If you're not, I'm not going to open the page, of course, and this tell me welcome to the Power Platform Admin Center. So one thing that I need to use Power Platform is to get an environment. So environment is a container of resource to using Power Platform, and we already have a default environment, so every user can access to default environment. And I'm new, and the admin center is telling that I can create Power Apps and flows. So regular Microsoft 365 or E3 or E5 already include Power Apps and Flow license. So if I go here to my Microsoft 365, if I go to the admin center, just click here, this will jump to Microsoft 365 admin center. Let's click this message. So if I go to the license, I can check what type of license that I have, and I also can view the service features the users that are already licensed, and I can go to your products. So this is to view what users are using the rest of the license. If I click your products, I can consult and view the type of service that I'm using this. So if I click on the license itself, I can go here to view apps and services included on these subscriptions. Click here. So I'm using the trial, so this is a trial. And we have, if I go to the products, business apps, we have Power BI, so I can use Power BI and Power BI Pro, so we can use Power BI service online. That's great. I can use Microsoft Automate. This is on plan 2. So what I can do, I create unlimited workflows. Be careful, there is a limited in to create flows. So in the license there are limitations. So this unlimited is not real, but okay. I can run per mount. I have a flow frequency. I can create a custom connector, only one. If I want to more, I have a flow frequency only for 5 minutes. If I have more, I need to add a paid license. I need to upgrade this to a user license. So this is a subscription license. Power Apps, this is a subscription license, of course, and I'm limited to basic for Canvas apps. So this means I can only create Canvas apps. If I want to create model-driven apps or Power Pages apps, I cannot do because I require to have a license. So this is the reason that we are going to enable developers and trial plans. So how I can create a developer plan. So I go and click here to create a new tab, and I go to type Power Apps dot Microsoft.com, and this will open the Power Apps page, so the marketing page. I can start for free, so this is like using a 30 days trial, but I don't want to enable a trial. So in the end of this address, I'm going to type developer plan. So developer plan, and here we can enable a developer plan for free. And what is included? This includes Dataverse. So with this I can create model-driven apps. We have everything for free to development and testing. So this is a full plan that include Power Apps with Dataverse and premium connectors. So it's like a paid license. We have Power Automate also. We have Dataverse. We can connect with several data and using custom APIs, and you can integrate with third parties like Azure. But with Azure we require a subscription. This not include an Azure subscription, but you can integrate and use tools to extend Power Platform, for example. Now, one thing that's extremely important, if you note here, the Power Apps Development Plan is restriction to building and testing apps to validate prior to production. What this means? You can create any app, you can test it, you can use it, but you can share it. So if you want to share an app created in this plan, so this is going to create a developer environment. You need to export the app or this solution and then import it to a default solution or to a production you need to import to the default environment or to any other production environment, so can be used and shared. So you can do everything except share. How we can start from here? Simply click Get Started Free. So I'm just going to click here. It's going to ask what is my email address. So I'm going to use the same email address that I created for the tenant before. To be easy, I already type it. Click Next. It's going to try to create an account. So I already have an account here. It's going to let me to sign out with a work email address. So because I'm using Auto.com, I cannot use it. This is not for regular end users. We required a Microsoft 365 account. So this is the reason that we created a Microsoft 365 DL program, because this is going to live in a Microsoft 365 tenant. Now I typed the Microsoft 365 tenant that I could before. I'm going to click Next, and now it's showing, it's letting saying you're going to sign in. I'm going to click Sign In. I already sign in the port. It's going to define my region. I'm going to select Portugal because I'm located on Portugal. So this is my region. My business phone, I'm not going to type it. Just going to get started. And once again, yeah, my business phone is mandatory. So for this reason that I said before, use the same phone number or use your own phone number. Don't use a faked phone number. That's because this is going to be validated and receive other information. And then okay, confirmation details. Let's click Get Started. Let's wait a few seconds, and we jump it to the Power Apps Maker plan. So what I can see, if I click environments, I have here other environments, and I have a Power Platform Workshop default. So this is the default environment. Why is not showing my environment, my development environment? Because it's getting built and it's getting created in the backend. So this means if I refresh the browser or sign in, sign out in a few minutes, this will be available. For example, if I go again to the Power Platform Admin Center, go to the environments, click here refresh. Is not okay, it's not showing the development yet, but if I wait a few minutes, this will appear. One thing that I can also do is to create environment. For example, if I click refresh, if I wait 30 minutes, for example, I can click here and create a new environment. And one thing I can do, I can select a development type. So this we can only create one development plan per person. For example, here I'm going to select or type a name for this plan. This is going to be associated to myself. Can create developer. For example, this will be a unique new name. And no, to be honest, this can be more than that one name. Or I can select Power Platform Workshop Developer, example. These are going to be added Dataverse, so it's selected by itself. Click next. I'm going to select the English language. So what is going to define its language by default, and the currency by default is going to set euros because I'm using I defined Portugal by the location, but I can change the currency. If I can change the currency, then no, but I can add multi-currency. For example, I can click here, and for example, I can select dollars, American dollars. If I want to deploy simple data, I can also deploy simple data, or I can add before or after getting this. One thing, this deploy simple data will allocate data, so the simple data will consume resource. It's very important to know that you're going to add resource. This resource will be consumed in the subscription. Let's click save. And this is how we can create an environment. So I'm getting a developer type. It's preparing. Normally this is quick, creating a developer. Then click refresh, and it's already ready. So this means it's ready to use. If I return to the Power Apps Maker plan, I'm just clicking refresh. One important, don't click refresh when you're going to create or manage apps, because this will can destroy things, because you are working in a browser session, and please avoid refresh in a browser session. And now still not showing the developer environment. Let me see the users. So I'm registered in this environment. So I just need to wait some minutes to propagate to the entire Microsoft Cloud. And this is normal to happen. One thing I can do, I can log off and log on again to the user. I cannot open a new private window, but I can open a new create a new session. Let's try to refresh again, and now it appears the development. So wait time, don't be rushed. This normally takes minutes. Sometimes it can take 10 minutes. Take your time, wait, and this will be working without an issue. So this means I have a default plan that is associated with this user, and this is a default plan that is a production frame for the entire organization. This means I can create apps, I can create everything. I have Dataverse included, so I can see that I have access tables to a Dataverse. So this is like a common data model from Dynamics 365, and I can do everything here. I have no limitations. Now if I go here, we can go Power Automate, Power BI, Power Page, Power Virtual Agents. For example, if I go to Power Virtual Agents, it's telling me that I don't have any license available, because the development plan doesn't include Power Virtual Agents and Power BI, so these are independent service, independent license terms. If I want to enable Power Virtual Agents, in this case, I just can click here, start a free trial, and this will enable our virtual agents. And then I can create and start a new chatbot. So we can enable trial license and then renew the license. Now we must know that trial is not unlimited, so you have a trial license, and here I can zap to other service. For example, Power Automate. This you're going to use Power Automate to create flows. Is not, we are using the same. Let's send this to Portugal. Get started. This plan. If I click in here, I can view my license, so the license for this user, and I can use standard connectors, premium connectors, custom connectors, on-premise connectors, because this is using I can use the develop plan. So if I click here, I'm using workshop. If I change for develop plan, now I have two develop plans. So this is the develop plan that is created automatically, and I create one manually. So this is now I'm showing two plans because I didn't wait. For example, if I click here, now I'm going to see my license is the same. So what this means, so RPA, robotic process automation, and AI builder is extra licensing. This means that this is not included in the developer plan. What this means, if I want to enable or work with AI, I need to add a trial license, and if I want to work with RPA, robotic process automated, I also need to enable a trial license. So this is what you need to work and starting work with Power Platform. This means that I can now work with Power Apps, I can work with Power Automates, I can even work with Power BI. I just need to enable the license, of course. For example, if I click in Power BI, I already have a license associated with this tenant. I already log on with this tenant. It's going to set up the first use, and I can use Power BI already because these are associated with the tenant itself. So the tenant Power BI Premium per user is an extra license, so you don't need it in this case, but you can work with Power Platform exactly. If I click and refresh the license, it's going to show that we had the same license, of course. So flow, we have Power Apps, and I'm also showing add-ons that I can also add more trials. The same trials I can also search here for Teams, for the Power Apps, for the Dynamics 365. I can use it. And if I go to our license, as you can see, develop plan, almost unlimited. We have Power Automate free that we enabled, and we have Power Virtual Agents trial. So you can add more trials to the environment. In a trial, we can go here and manage and view the subscription details and see when this is going to be expired, of course. And that's it. So thank you very much to view, and also a continuous to a beautiful great day.